love girls.
Love. I was going to say monsters, but...
that's what I felt like I wanted to say, the love monsters.
The love mummas, that's what we're being.
The love mummas.
The love mummas.
I love that. So today we are really going to embarrass ourselves and talk about dating disasters on the signs of love. Let's just hope our partners aren't listening to this today, but we thought we'd talk about some of our dating things.
Oh, yeah.
And
plenty.
Also the meaning of love.
Yes. So who knows what the meaning of Valentine's Day is?
Go on, Paisley, come out with your Burnt Out Mumma fact of the day.
So, if I can remember, basically it was St. Valentine. It was on his quest. So how much he wanted to give his life up for life or death, for marriage and love.
Oh my God! Yeah, would you do that anymore in this day and age?
No question.
Probably not. But it's not just about what we were just talking about before we did this.
Yeah.
It's not about loving someone else.
I think it's about loving everybody today, and we want you all to, like, if it's whether it's your dog, take your dog for a walk, love your dog, go and love yourself.
I think the main thing is, what we talked about was loving yourself, wasn't it?
And the few guests we've had on the podcast recently have
even
all been
about
loving yourself.
Last week with Nana, that's exactly what we talked about, the confidence, loving yourself.
Kat going through her divorce, loving herself again and trying new things.
Yeah, so I think, and what we said today, what we want to come away with after today, after this chat, is actually doing something for you women today to love yourself. So whatever it is, like, do something for you today, and like put in comments underneath stuff that you love. You've just got to do something.
What do you do when you want to have a little bit of self-love?
Do you know what? I have a walk on my own on the field, put my back against the tree. That's my self-love.
Do you know what?
I feel energetic after.
Yeah, I've got a few. I used to love reading magazines, but they don't really do them anymore. But I love being on my bed.
Do you remember that back in the day?
Yeah, I was the magazine queen every week.
I used to love a magazine.
Looking forward to reading it, and then I'd sometimes do my nails or do a face pack, with the Body Shop stuff, or buy those little bath bombs, put them in.
Yeah, I forgot
the
about
fresh
that.
bombs.
Do you know what? I loved a magazine as well. Did any of you ladies love a magazine?
Smash Hits.
Smash Hits, and then we had Shouts, Miss.
Yeah. Ms.
Oh my God, there's so many of them.
Well, I'm an 80s girl through and through. Do you know what? Apparently, in about, what is it, 5 years' time, the 80s are nearly 50 years away.
Oh, stop it. That makes me feel like I'm from the 1920s. What the hell?
Oh, yes. There's loads of stuff you can do. Even like sometimes, even being with your family, a bit of self-love, switching off your phone for the day. Sometimes I put mine on silent because I just constant beeping.
So yeah, I will be going on a walk later because I'm going to do that for me. I love that. And also, one thing I love is
exercise,
music. How much like music makes me feel
dancing.
Like on so much of like a high vibration, doesn't it?
When we had the retreat and we had Melin doing the saxophonist, didn't everybody come away on such a high?
Honestly.
We got everyone up dancing, didn't we?
Yeah, it was so good. We turned, literally at the end, we turned off the lights and then she played on the sax. Free from desire.
I loved it.
And then everyone was just dancing, and like everyone just like finished on such a high, and I think that is that's what music does to you.
It does. And the law of attraction is based on love as well. If you're feeling in love or just happy, you're going to bring those manifestations quicker to you. So we did our retreat, didn't we, with all our vision boards for 2025. I've now got mine on my screenshot on my phone. I've finished it.
Yeah.
So we've had a few, was it a full moon the other day?
Yeah, we had a full moon the other day. So perfect
for putting it out there.
For loving yourself, really. And I think that is the message we massively want to give today. You don't have to worry if you've not got a man in your life, like whatever, a woman, whoever, like the main thing, number one, is loving yourself. And I think that is just the biggest thing. And we talk about this on every
Doesn't matter
podcast.
if you're single today, don't feel poo. In fact, it's quite embracing because you can go and have a spa, do anything you want to do.
What you want.
are free to do what you want to do.
Yes, go and spread your wings and enjoy today.
And if you are with a partner, maybe think of them today. what they'd like to do. Even just cooking a meal, that would be a bonus for me.
Or just going out for a meal. That would be a big bonus.
Yeah.
Get a babysitter for
Do you know what,
night.
actually, last week I did buy flowers for myself. I felt like I really, really wanted to see some beautiful roses. So I'd sometimes do that, yeah.
That is really nice. Actually, and
Well,
I
no
do
one else
that
buys them.
sometimes. No, if I walk into a shop and I feel attracted to buy flowers, I will buy them. Because I don't know what it is.
Love the
just
smell, looking at them.
And seeing flowers like on your table sometimes, it just lifts me up a little bit.
It does. I love a flower. Do you remember I was sitting that Instagram page? Flower and crystal shop with all big crystals, big flowers.
Yeah, one day, Paisley,
I just can't keep a flower alive.
Every day we see each other, we've got a new goal.
We're like, should we do this course? I'm like, oh my God, we've got a lot this year to pump out.
I know, literally. But yes, so we're going to talk about some dating disasters before we met the right ones. Some of our dating disasters. So who wants to go first, me or you? Oh, don't. He's going to cringe us out even talk. So anyway, before I met Sal, yes, I was a Tinder lover. Oh my God.
Did you swipe left or right?
I actually was like, I literally loved it. It was in my 20s and I loved going on dates. It was like my favourite thing. And also at that time,
you get a free meal out of it. A free meal, free drink. Well, I don't know if they do that now, do they?
I think from the age of 21 to 26 was like my best time, and then I met Sam when I was 27.
Actually, at a friend's family barbecue, wasn't it?
Family barbecue, yeah, I met him. Really weird. And actually, in synchronicity, things like that, I've been in the same place as Sal, like at our cousin's wedding. He was his best man.
No way.
Yeah, and I was at that wedding, but with my ex, before. So it was really weird, but we wasn't meant to meet each other then. It was meant to be later down. But yeah, so anyway, I've had some proper dating disasters, and yeah, I was like, but I had the best time. I love being single, but a lot of my friends had settled down.
Yeah,
during my early 20s.
All of mine, my 20s, I was like the bridesmaid. 27 dresses? I wasn't bothered anyways. I didn't want to get married, but they were all doing their hen do's. Then they got married. Then we had the baby showers, so I must have spent a fortune on each of these girls. Must have been about 2,000 on each one. Once done the hen do's, the baby showers, and there's little old me at Christmas on my birthday. Oh, I'm really busy. I can't come out. It's Christmas. Yeah, Faye knows what I'm talking about here. So yeah, my whole 20s was filled with full-on events and everybody getting married. So yeah, I did go on I went on a few dates. Yeah, but I wasn't overly looking for anybody, so yeah.
Oh, I definitely was. I think I was the opposite.
Did you go on a number of dates?
I went on loads. I went on a different date every week, I must say, and I dated some.
I have had periods like that.
Okay. So who? Oh my God. So yeah, I ended up having roast dinner one time with Talisa from M-Tubs.
No, oh my God, I remember that.
I was seeing this guy who I met from Tinder. So, oh my gosh, so I was quite obviously young at the time, and I was in mid-20s, and then he was like, okay, we'll go to this restaurant in London.
Is that the guy that had the suitcase factory?
Yeah,
really famous brand.
We won't say the brand because it's a bit
get it every day in every shop.
I know, but so I went on this date with him, and then he was like, okay, meet me at this restaurant, and I was like, looked up this restaurant, I was like, oh my God, this is a really expensive restaurant. I can no way afford even a drink in this restaurant. I was doing a few classes a week at this time, and I was like, oh God. And it's that always awkward thing when you're like, oh my God, I genuinely do not have enough meal to even buy a starter at this place. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Anyway, we got there, and I was like, I was really conscious of what I ordered, because I was thinking, if he asked me to pay half, half.
Oh my god,
I'm
because
gonna be
was it a thing then
bankrupt.
doing 50-50? I've never
Well,
done 50-50.
not some, but
Unless they're
obviously
a
I
friend.
didn't expect it, but I was like, it was still manly to be like, I'll.
If
I
they've
always
asked you
feel
out
like
on a
that.
date, I think then they should.
To be fair though, if they asked me
for
to
it.
pay half, they didn't get a second date because
No.
I was like, mate, he's a tight ass.
Yeah. I don't know, what is it?
Like,
Do people go for coffee now? What do people do for dates?
I don't even know. So
is the
anyway,
general thing?
we got this meal and then he was ordering loads of cocktails, he was ordering all this stuff and I was thinking, oh my god.
Take a loan out to pay for the food.
I was like, oh god. And then he was like, what do you want? And I was just like, at this point I was like,
That's Medinol, maybe.
I feel like he's going to pay for this. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll have this, I'll have that. Anyway, the bill come in, Paisley. I think the bill must have been, it was over £500.
Wow.
And I was like, I was sweating and I was thinking, please don't say pay half, please don't. You know, you're like sweating.
I don't think it's being gentlemanly. This is going to cause
Anyway,
a debate.
he paid for it on his dad's credit card.
Oh,
his dad's credit card. Anyway, yeah, but I was seeing this guy. I was seeing this guy, I think, for about 4 months actually. But yeah.
So how did you end up for a roast then with Talisa?
Well, I went round to his, we'd been seeing each other for about 4 months, went to his flat, and we got this knock on the door on his flat. I mean, his flat was like a penthouse. And she knocked on the door and she was like, do you want roast dinner? I was like, I looked, it was. And then I went into the flat and he was like, oh, do you want roast dinner? It's with Talisa. And I was like, oh, okay. Didn't like clock on. And then obviously sitting at her dinner table and it's like Talisa,
you went down to
roast dinner with
her
us.
flat to have it?
Yeah, she lived next door to him.
Oh my god,
yeah.
North London.
Yeah, North London.
North London.
At the time. But yeah,
Why
I
did
was
that
like...
swizzle off then? What happened?
Do you know what? I can't even remember. I think...
You got fed up with travelling up there?
Yeah, I had to go up to London to meet him all the time and I can't remember. I think it just, the spark, like when... Yeah. I can't even remember.
So you can throw so much money at something. If it's not there, it's not there, is it?
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been... Oh, my God, I've got some really embarrassing dates. I remember going on one date up in uptown. I used to go on all of them up London, and I remember going on one and we went to a cocktail bar and I was like, I could feel myself getting so drunk and I was like, just like, I don't know, the date wasn't going very well, so the more it was going and it was really awkward and it was like, you've not got, you just know that person is not the one and you're drinking. And so I was like, oh, just fuck it, I'm going to have more drinks. Anyway, I must have been absolutely hammered by this. It's when you go outside, and get that air and that air
and when you're nervous as well, I think it's the adrenaline.
And then he went to go in and kiss me and I like budged out the way and then I don't know what happened. And then I was like, oh, I've got to go. And then I just went, all I remember was going on the train and literally I like had my bag like next to me and I was like sick.
You weren't. Oh my god, that is.
I had nothing to be sick in. No, I had too many cocktails. No,
can you imagine?
Paisley, I couldn't even afford that. I was in my like 20s. It was more like a Primark bag. Like I was so thank God. But I remember just having this bag next to me, and I was like, ugh. I was like, oh, when you're on a train, it was so embarrassing. But anyway.
So that was that. You didn't go on a second date.
No, and he was like awkward as hell. It was like an awkward turtle that day. But yeah, it probably didn't help that I got one really drunk.
That's just reminded me of something. When I was at Mum's and I think I was, I don't know how the date happened. I just can't remember now. But he asked me out and I didn't even want to, I don't know how I ended up on it. But I think he asked me out on a night out because back then it was all like meeting people out. And I didn't want to go on it. And I had to get, I'm sure I had to get a bus to this date, which put me off anyway, because I always liked the guys to pick me up. I was always a princess back then. And so I got on the bus and I remember saying to one of my friends, I was like, if this date's really bad, can you just call me and make out that I've got to go home?
I've actually done that before. Have you ever done that fake
so I can get out of it? And then it was like, yeah, okay. And then I was like, I felt bad. I didn't want to cancel it. Anyway, Oh, what happened? I think I got there and it was literally so awkward. He was like, what's your favourite colour? And I was like, oh, fuck off. Like, I was like, I don't know, baby blue. Oh, what's your favourite show? What's your favourite drink? It was that bad. And I was like, Jesus, like, what the hell? Anyway, I literally must have lasted 10 minutes. And I was just like, this guy's got no chat. He's got no imagination. I went to the toilet and I phoned my friend and I was like, can you just call me? Because it's just the worst date ever. I don't know why I came. I just want to go. And I didn't want to upset him or feel bad. Anyway, I said, call me in 5. Called me and he was like, you got to come home. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I've got to rush back. One of my family's ill. I can't even remember the excuse I gave. Anyway, he was like, oh, that's okay, I'll drop you home.
Oh,
so it even progressed from then. I was like, oh, no, it's okay, I'll just jump on the bus back. Because it was just that one bus from Croydon to Mum's. Anyway, I got in his car, and I know you shouldn't judge, but it was like, at the time when we were teenagers, I dated guys with like Porsches, Ferraris, and then he had this mustard, I don't know what it was. Fiat something, I don't even know. I remember it being mustard. It was mustard. I think it was his granddad's car. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he dropped me home. And I was just like, I don't know why. I just felt really cringed out. And it just had no connection at all. And then I had to get back on the bus because I went to go meet my friends for a night out. So I had to go back into where I was. I was like, oh my God. It's the only time I've ever done it, but I'm not normally like that. It was just, I don't know why. I just didn't say I didn't want to go on the date. I was in my early 20s. I think I was in my teens actually, maybe like younger. But to this day, I remember that.
I remember so many days, and there was one actually, and I think I was probably actually about 18, 19, and I remember this date because I had a psychic vision. So I always get these visions when I'm like doing my makeup.
Yeah.
And I was going on this date with this guy, and so I was doing my makeup, and I had this vision of him seeing another girl being on the date.
No way.
And I was like, of his like ex-girlfriend or something being on this same date. So anyway, met him, obviously it was bus back then, so I got on the bus, met him in Croydon, and then I got off the bus and he was there, and he waved at me, and then he just started away. He started running away, and I was like, what the hell? I think it was something where we like met each other, and then he just started running, and I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, just like running away from me. He's basically, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend at the time, came out of the pub, saw him, I'm on the opposite side of the road.
Oh my God.
And then he just started running away, and I was like, what the hell?
I tell you what, boys
and
back then.
I rang him, and I was like, what the fuck? And he was just like, oh, I'm just going to have to cancel. And
He was trying to see you and his girlfriend.
And I don't know if it was his girlfriend or ex, but yeah, she was there, and he was like, oh, I'm going to have to cancel.
Now, everything's on social media. It's very hard. Like, I know someone was telling us there's a Facebook page that, what's it called? So with guys that are renowned for apparently having affairs, I mean, I wouldn't even know, I'm so out of it because I've obviously had a steady relationship for 8 years, but apparently there's this site that says if you've dated this guy, that they end up, all these girls put them on there, so if they're like serial cheaters or something, and they get found out, there's a whole Facebook page going on it, or so. And I was like, oh my God, like that actually
girls,
exists.
if you're worried about men or you're dating someone that seems a bit off key,
go and have a check out on the
find out what the
website.
Facebook page is.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Does anybody know it?
Let's hunt all these guys down.
I have to ask the person that said to me.
Oh,
but,
don't.
I mean, that would scare me going out into the dating world again. I just think there's so many wrong ends.
I think it's harder to date now as well.
I feel scared for my daughter.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, be happy on your own. Go travel the world.
Yeah. It is harder to date now, though. I don't know.
We see the teenagers now, don't we? Like, it's all, even in the dance school, they all come in on the phones, and we're like, get off the phones.
Yeah, it's all like...
They don't communicate. Like, you're like, hi, hello, and they're like earphones on, walk past you. But online, they're this really confident person.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh my God, and another thing, and when you had Tinder, obviously you'd think,
I was never
he's
an online
really...
dater.
Yeah, I was like a serial online
Serial.
dater. But yeah, like some of the guys did not look like their picture.
Oh, what do they call it? Catfish?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Catfish?
Like, there was one where he looked well muscly. He was in like his swimming shorts. So when I met him, he was like 5'1", and I was like, oh no. I mean, I'm small, but having a smaller guy than me,
I don't know if
was
this
just
podcast
like...
is going to go out well. It's either you're going to get a lot of hate.
Oh, don't. But yeah, it's just obviously our type, isn't it? Like, what you like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I won't talk about the good dates. I'll be in trouble.
No, I've had some really bad ones.
I think an ideal date would be to be picked up. This is I suppose I'm in my 40s now. Taken out for a nice meal, or even a picnic. Get to know each other. When they start suggesting things like, shall we go bowling? No, I don't want to go bowling when I don't even know you, and create small talk. And it's, no, that's not what I want to do. And like just random things like, let's go and play golf, or it's not what I choose to do normally.
I
so
mean, but
do
some people do love that, because I have got friends who would rather like an adventure day.
Yeah.
So it is...
Once you get to know them, I think, not on the first date.
Yeah.
On the first date?
Yeah, first date. I mean, I'll do a coffee on the first date, because you're not wasting too much time.
What the hell? Go out for mum with a coffee? What, a coffee on a date? What, £3 coffee?
I do love a meal on the day. I do love a meal on a date, because you can have a cocktail, you can let your hair down a little bit.
This is how, dating's changed.
Like we're dating again, but we're
I know. When I was younger, I would only go on a date. I mean, it changed, but the first guys I want to date with, it'd be like, because I really wanted to, so I wanted that date. You know, all day you're thinking about your outfit, what you're going to wear.
Yeah.
But the ones you're not so bothered about, and you're like, oh, I just go out, then I'd do a coffee. I wouldn't even do a coffee.
Yeah.
I'd be like, we'll go for 1 or 2 cocktails.
Yeah.
But
because nowadays, say if I was dating again, I wouldn't want to waste my time. No.
That is it. My time
is precious now. So yeah,
I'll be
5
60
minutes.
soon.
Don't. It's like,
even getting a date night now when you've got children, it's like, I mean, that's
impossible.
Yeah.
Victoria Beckham has a date night every month. Does she
but she's
once
with
a
David
week
Beckham.
or once
like,
a month?
they've probably got nannies. They're rich. They go to the best restaurants.
I know. Actually, I did say that to Sal. Like, I said, when we first had Iona, I said we've really got to try and like do a date night. It is important for us, like once a month or once a week. And actually, my friend like does do that. Like she makes once a month. Like her mum has the little one overnight, and she does do a date night once a month.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I remember each time that mum's had the children or something, we've been to.
You've been raving, Paisley.
Because our friends are DJs and they do events,
You're
and we're like
dead the next day.
Have the best time just letting her hair down. But then it's like, well. Got to pick the kids up the next day or whatever. But we don't always. But sometimes, or you're so tired you fall asleep. When I was pregnant or afterwards, I think some of the best date nights was just getting a takeaway on a Saturday and a glass of wine, but just without the children in the background kicking a ball, or I want to watch Sing on TV for the 1000th time, or just having a bit of you. Do you know what? I've not even watched proper telly for myself in God knows how long. Last night I tried to watch.
Do you know what we keep watching?
A programme didn't happen,
and I literally know all the words to it. The Gruffalo.
Oh yeah, been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
No, we've been for a phase of watching the Gruffalo. Then we went on to something else. Now we're back to the Gruffalo. And I'm like,
they do get fixated, don't they?
Yeah, they love it. But I start watching it as well.
And every night I have to put the Little Mermaid on Spotify.
Oh, to sing it. I love that.
No, the story.
Oh,
there's a story on there. See, I know you can buy the Tonys, but it's just another piece of clutter in my house. So I'm just like, let's just put it on Spotify. You get all the free stories. So if I'm feeling a bit tired, because I remember we had like records growing up too that Mum used to put on, and I used to love all the stories and the background music. So yeah, I put Little Mermaid on and she listens to it, and then she goes off. But then by that time I've fallen asleep. And I cannot tell you the last time I've watched any Netflix films. I want to watch Wicked. Yeah, one day.
One day you can watch Wicked. One day. Oh gosh, but no, there's just so much.
Well, you can do Valentine's Day now with your family. You can all have a family meal together.
Yeah, make some love cookies, which I just not into any cooking
my son
at all.
is so romantic.
He actually is. He's so loving.
He's like, Mummy, I've done this for you. He opens doors. I mean, I am teaching him well.
I know. He is. I actually love him. He's so loving, isn't he? I love it.
Very sensitive, but if I think I was giving him to show him what true love is.
And I do feel like with children, like they can give you a different kind of love that you've never been aware of.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Pushed and pulled.
Even me with Iona, I just love cuddling her. Like, it just makes me feel like full in that time.
Do you know what? Cuddling, they did an experiment of dogs that didn't get cuddled. Now, who was I talking to you?
I know.
And they actually, psychologically, really got disturbed.
Really?
Dogs need cuddles. We as humans need touch.
Yeah,
and cuddles. And it releases endorphins.
Yeah, like Iona will cuddle me literally all night, and if I don't cuddle, she's like, "Mummy, cuddle," and I'm like, "Oh, like you're asleep." But I do love. But deep down, I genuinely do love it. Like,
I wonder what age my kids will be at.
Oh,
they wrap round me all night. But...
I know. I mean, Iona's like, I've got this phase of coming in our bedroom at like 1 o'clock in the morning at the moment.
Yeah, Sonny does. I put him in bed, and then he comes in about 11, half 11, and then I have to carry him back in.
You're like so tired. No, I don't even carry it back in now because I'm so tired.
I don't with Sadie, no, but with Sonny, I'm like it's like a snake legs around me, and I can't breathe. And I woke up the other day, and I was like my arms are out like this.
Oh, don't.
I just wanted a bit of space.
Deep down, we love it. But yeah, no, I'll finish off with my terrible day, which was the most embarrassing day of probably my life. It has got to be the embarrassing day of my life.
Do I know this one?
Are you ready for this story? So I went on this day to Camden, and we went to one of the pubs in Camden.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I actually
what Camden reminds me of?
What?
When we were younger, we used to go out. There's a group of us that didn't mind.
We used to always go Camden.
The pubs where your feet got sticky on the floor because it was cheap, and then there was the other part of us which wanted to go to the nice places, which was always me.
Oh.
And everyone was like, we can't afford it, but I was like, I don't want to take my shoes out and get sticky beer on my feet. Fags at the time, or you could smoke in the bars, couldn't you? And you could do that with your foot, and it was all sticky. And they're like, "Oh, let's go Weatherspoons." I'm like, I'm not really a Weatherspoons girl. I mean, now I'll go Weatherspoons because money's tight, but back then I wanted the best. I sound like a right diva, don't I?
But actually,
you went to one of them bars, didn't you? With all like grunge and beer on the floor.
It was. I'm sure it was. I'm sure. Anyway,
toilet roll.
Oh, don't. But anyway, we got some foods anyway, and we were eating at the table, and we had some drinks and stuff. Anyway, I had like this dress on, it was like a skirt actually, and then I had black tights on, and so I went to the toilet. God, I can't believe I'm saying this.
This is my worst nightmare. I always check my shoes.
Literally, I went to the toilet, went for a wee, and obviously pulled my tights up, pulled my skirt up, came back out, sit down, wash my hands, whatever, sit down, and then as I'm talking, he leant over.
Oh no, no.
He leant over and pulled a long bit of tissue out.
Used.
I don't even think it was used. I don't even know. Don't. He pulled the tissue out of my skirt, as I must have wiped. As I pulled my pants up, part of the tissue didn't go in the toilet and was hanging out of my skirt when my time. Oh my God, I've never been so mortified in my whole life. Like literally, as he pulled the tissue out, I could feel it pulling up my bum and being pulled out, and I was like, oh
mortified.
My God, like literally, Paisley, I never go red, and I could feel my face.
Did
like,
you get a second
up.
date?
No, I don't think I even went on a second date. I can't even remember. He pulled it and went, oh, sorry, you've just got something stuck on you. As he pulled it, it was like, I realised it was the tissue from where I wiped my nunu, like pulled the tights up.
Oh my God.
Obviously.
Oh my God.
It got caught in my tights as I pulled up, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, see,
And-
this is our history.
Oh,
This
don't.
is, can you imagine the teenagers of today,
Never
though? Would they
been
have these stories?
So mortified in my life. I just was so embarrassed. I feel, and you know, have you got that feeling where you can feel your face like heating up?
Yeah.
Like I was just like, and after that, I've just felt the whole date was awkward.
I know,
like because
it's
I
like, how
couldn't,
do you-
I couldn't, and I tried to. You tried
visualising
to laugh
that
it off,
tissue.
don't you? But the whole time, the tissue was on the floor underneath my feet. And I was just like, wanting to kick it out
Good
the
job
way.
you didn't have anything else
And
on
I
it.
was like, but to be honest, that restaurant probably was one of them sticky floor ones. But I had
Grungy
this
one.
piece of tissue like next to my feet the whole time. I
Oh,
was like,
no.
oh my God. So yeah, ladies,
I think we should
when
bring
you
back
go,
dating. It's making me...
I know.
If you're with a partner or
Want a new
anything,
date?
get off your phones, go get out there. I want to see romance again. Romance is gone, dead and buried. I see the teenagers now. What do? We talk to each other online.
No, there is romance.
There
out
must be.
there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Disney films. You've got to get back to them. Watch them again.
There is,
All the
yeah.
romance.
Who is it? One of our friends. They've got really like cute relationship, and they do all like romantic things. And didn't one of your mum's friends buy flowers every week?
Yeah.
Your friends, like- yeah.
Yeah, her husband used to buy her flowers, and actually, really weirdly, she said, "Don't buy me flowers. Don't give me flowers on my funeral. I want flowers every week now. So them amount of flowers that you'd buy at my funeral, I want to see them. I want to see them." And he used to buy them every Friday. And how lovely is that? So every time I used to go around there, she used to have like a fresh bloom of flowers.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
nice,
thought,
isn't
isn't it?
It's the
It's
thought.
being thought of.
Thought. Yeah, and not forgetting that appreciation for each other.
Yeah,
isn't
once
it, as
that
well?
goes, the respect, everything, you've got to keep it alive.
Keep it alive, yeah. Well,
Or
on that note...
toe massage, a massage.
Oh, yuck. Oh, no.
Not that I get a toe massage.
You
I mean,
would
what the hell?
you
But I'm-
are a foot person. I'm
No,
not.
I don't. I would never touch some man's feet. Don't. Ugh.
Do you
Like,
know what? That actually turns some men on my feet, doesn't it?
I
I'm
have
like,
got nice
oh,
feet.
no.
I have- when they're pedicured.
To be
they're
honest,
nice
I
feet.
love my feet massaged, but I'm not a foot fetish
Do you
person.
remember when we were in Vegas and that guy was like, "Can I take a picture of your feet? Because you've
Was
got the
that
most
you?
beautiful feet." Yeah, I was like,
that definitely wasn't me.
it's the one
That was
thing that's
you.
never put on weight or got crusty is my feet.
You did, yeah, I remember that actually. I do remember that. He loves your feet.
That's what I should do now. Create my OnlyFans account of my
You
feet. I might
should.
be.
You actually should. 'Cause she
multi-millionaire.
has got good feet. I mean, no, don't.